What's up, everybody? In today's video, Asher and I hit up Clark's Creek for a little trout fishing. Third time's a charm. I did manage to land one. I actually landed two, only got one on video, so believe me or not, I did catch a second one towards the end, just didn't film it. And since I didn't film it, it was obviously bigger than the first one, so they always are. Towards the end of the video, I will be going over the gear that I use, which is literally not much. I mean, if you want to go out and try it, you don't need a fly fishing rod, you don't need $1,000 worth of gear. I literally bought a $20 rod, re-spooled it with like $7 line, and put a $5 lure on it, and that's what I caught these two fish on. I think the biggest thing is just getting out experience, and like once you know sort of what to do and what to look for, it sort of becomes kind of easy after that. I mean, it's still going to be a challenge to get to a spot in order to cast where you want to, and casting in tight spots, but I think once you start catching a couple out of where they actually sit, it'll be a lot easier. So if you're looking to get out cheap, stick around towards the end, or skip to the end if you don't want to watch the video. Go over the equipment that I used. And Asher actually managed to get a couple of bites. He's still working on how to cast and, you know, aiming and just getting in the right position. In some of the videos, I did use an old action camera that I had laying around, just so I could have one camera like constantly rolling and not near the water. I didn't want my phone too close to the water. It is a little poor quality, so I do apologize for that. I'll probably use it less frequently. I might switch it back up to 1080. I was using 720 at 60 FPS to try and get maybe a little bit slower, slow motion shots. I think from now on, I'm probably gonna use my phone more and maybe use that on 1080 only on like a chest mount or something. And then eventually probably get a little bit better action camera. I said stick around. I got some pretty cool shots. There's not a whole lot of talking in this video. There's a little bit me explaining to Asher where to go and what to look for and how to cast. But like I said, stick around to the end. I'll go over the minimal gear that I used and talk about a little bit about the regulations, which aren't the same for all creeks in Tennessee, but I just use these same regulations because it seems like more than not, this is what you have to use. And I'll cover all that in another segment at the end of the video. Enjoy. right here, just try to cast it straight across and then pull it right up over the ripples. I'd say do that about 3 more times. Cast it over there somewhere and pull it right back towards you quickly, through them ripples quick. That's all you gotta practice. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there's one sitting behind this rock right here. I can't see it, but there's not a current there, and that's where they're going to be like sitting, because they don't want to sit there and swim fast all day. So they're looking for somewhere to hide behind and wait for something to come through to attack. But it's got to be moving quick, or they're not going to think it's real. Something. I'll just honestly hold your pole out there and just dunk it in and out of the water. I'm just trying to tell you where they're going to be at, and then so you would hit these a couple times, and then that's another good one right there. You got 2. You got one on each side of that rock in the middle. So when you've hit this a couple times, you're not catching anything, you can walk up there and try that one. Just walk up and around and come down over there.
Stop.
That thing out.
Just like put it on.
Slide it on there, yep. Just like that. I'll put that black thing back in there. That'll hold it in that spot in the line. There you go. first little video, good on you. Like I said, some of that video was a little rough, but I got it on camera, so I don't know what else I could do. The quality will be better than that going forward for sure. I was not happy with it, but it was my first trout, so I'm just gonna deal with it. If you didn't watch the whole thing, I'm not gonna fault you for that. There was some cool drone footage and a little bit better video sort of in the middle from my phone. I'm gonna go over quickly what I used to catch the 2 fish that I caught, the one that you saw. I haven't changed anything on my setup, and I've got it all on the tailgate. I got a couple of extra things that I had with me. I didn't use the net, but I do have one, and I did use a pair of pliers to get the hook out. I'll go over all that right now. All right, so this rod and reel combo is something you can get at Walmart for $20. Yep, the rod and the reel. Leland's Lures, Sore Lip'em, Trout. I mean, it says Trout right on it, so I don't know what else you're looking for. It does have a lock on it. You can switch the handle to either side. I mean, for trout fishing, honestly, you could probably use a cane pole if you know what you're doing, so I don't think you need like a serious setup for small creeks. It's a pretty light pole, so I mean, even with small fish, it's got good action. I mean, that small one that I pulled out was actually a ton of fun. Other than that, also the rod and reel comes with this little tackle box. This is probably all you need, honestly, for trout fishing. Probably not even this. This is a nice small size. If you have a smaller one that fits in your pocket, you actually would only need, like, you know, maybe some extra line, swivels, clips, and a couple of lures just in case you snag up and lose one, because that's kind of part of the game, getting snagged up and losing your lures as you start out. This is the line that I re-spooled with, so that's what is on the main line. And then there's a blood knot with about 10 feet of this on the end. So this is a little less visible to the fish. And then on top of that, I've got this just plain old spoon spinner. There's no fly on or anything. It's literally just a hook and a spinner. It's a Mepps, the silver one. I think at Bass Pro Shops it's like $4 or $5 maybe. Some other things I had on me was this net, also from Walmart. I forget how much it cost. It was not very much. And then these pliers, which I would not be surprised if they also came from Walmart, but just something to grab on to a hook or anything else. Then one thing I want to call out about this is a single hook spinner. A lot of the ones you're going to buy will have a treble hook on it, so it has 3. Most of the places around here in East Tennessee, you cannot use that. You can only use a single hook. There are some places where they don't care, but I just use a single hook everywhere just so I don't need to sort through all of my triple and single hook deals. I took the treble hook and just clipped off the other 2 hooks. That's perfectly fine to do that. I'll grab one right now and show you, but this is literally all I use. Put a picture of the kit this came with. So I mean, it's a $20 pole with that, so it's like $20 for that. These 2 fishing lines, I think together were maybe like $20, and that came with it. So you're talking like $50 max. You don't really need a net. I mean, if it gets off, whatever, it doesn't really matter unless you plan on keeping it. The whole idea behind single hook is catch and release. That's mostly what I'm doing, unless I catch something that, you know, I care to bring home and eat. And then the pliers. So, which honestly, if you just got a set of needle nose pliers from like Harbor Freight even, or Walmart, would be fine. So I'm thinking like, you take $50 and you can go out fishing. Then from there you just need to learn how and what the spots are. I'll go grab a couple of the other lures I have, but this is literally, I caught both fish on this same spinner. But I do have a couple other ones. I'll show you exactly what I mean by clipping off the other 2 hooks. And then you can go buy a couple and sort of swap them out as needed. Alright, so you can kind of see the 2 nubs there. This was a treble hook, but if you look closely, there's 2 other starters sticking out there. That's where I cut the other 2 hooks off. So this is now a legal spinner, kind of like a bumblebee pattern with a little hair on it. just to try and show you another one. Here's a black one. I'll see if I can pull this hair back so maybe you can get a better view of the hook. You can see there that it's just a treble hook where I cut the other two prongs off of it. This is a black and silver. And if you go to Bass Pro Shops or Walmart, I mean, they've got different brands, obviously, that range between $3 and all the way up to $10 per lure. For these small ones, definitely recommend getting the smallest ones you can find, like the 16th ounce, maybe 8th ounce. This size body, like the 16th ounce ones, you can pull them right through ripples without worrying too much about getting them stuck and hitting the bottom. You don't want to be bouncing off the bottom of these things because you'll lose them for sure. Other than that, like I said, you go grab a lure or two. You know, I can recommend the silver Meps or something similar to that. Just a regular old hook with a spinner on it. Whatever rod and reel. Honestly, I don't think it even really matters. I was having problems with another reel where the line was getting really tangled up, but I think once I switched to this newer mono line, I think if you let them sit for a while too, they'll like knot up on you quicker. But once I re-spooled this, I mean, this cheap reel, I don't think the reel matters all that much. Maybe like the smoothness of the bail closing. But other than that, I had no problems with this. Like I said, it's kind of tight quarters, so it's kind of hard to mess up. Well, in terms of purposes, feels like a toy, but it surely did work. I mean, I'll turn this over so you can see it. I mean, it's Trout magnet, Trout series. As funny as that seems, like a toy or something, I mean, I can't complain. I caught fish on it, so like I said, 50 bucks. Not much stuff. If you're interested, just get the bare minimum. Go see if you like it. It's, you know, a lot of hiking when I go through the woods, creek walking. Gonna get your feet wet a little bit, but get out there, try it. If you want, I can make a video on sort of how I'm learning, but I actually watched other YouTube videos on sort of what to look for and what to do. That's how I think if I went out there without any clue, I probably would have taken me a couple more times to figure it out, but I can go through and just explain more about what I'm looking at, which I kind of did in this video with Asher if you watched it. If you didn't, maybe I'll make another one that's a little better quality where I sort of go through my thought process and what I'm looking for. So, all right, I'll see you guys in the next one.